Hey, welcome back to Truck Trends. Another beautiful day in Milford, Connecticut. Hey, I got a special guest today, Craig Judge from Gabrielli. He specializes in Suzuki trucks. Today, Craig and I are going to take a look at two landscaping truck ideas. Craig, welcome to Truck Trends.
Thank you very much. Mr. John Doerr, how's it going out there?
Hey, Aurora. Hey, John Duran. Always good to see you, brother. Hey, listen, we're going to start with the open landscaper. Craig, why do we like this truck? And let's talk a little bit about it.
Well, there's a couple of things we like about it. Number one, the point of entry is pretty inexpensive for most landscape companies. These bodies tend to run in the $10,000 to $13,000 range, so it's not super expensive. You can get 2 commercial mowers on it, plus there's room for some spreaders, some bulk material that you may be carrying, some bags of mulch, topsoil,
Now, you said
fertilizer.
two mowers, so we got about 6,000 pound capacity because we have the NPR HD, which is the gas. That's the 14.5 GVW, so 6,000 pounds carrying capacity.
And if you look at commercial mowers, like if you were to look at a Skag Turf Tiger, like a 61-inch, once you put fuel in it and you put an operator on top of it, it's going to run about 1,800 pounds. Awesome. Round it up to 2,000.
Well, let's take a little bit more look at this body right here, okay? Greg, some features right here, especially for tools. We have a tool capacity up here. You can put some shovels right here, but also for loading a truck. Check this out. Got a fold down side. As you can tell, my strength, it was not too hard to break down. So if you're loading a pallet, you have fold down sides, both sides.
And you have 18 rings, 4 on each side to secure the load.
Fantastic. Let's watch this. I'll get it right on up. One guy. Box tool right here. Great feature. Step ladder right here. Okay, to get good access to the side of the truck.
With a safety grab handle on there.
Yep, right here.
And it's a nice diamond plate floor, so you don't have to worry if your grass is wet, your feet are wet, you've got a little bit of traction in here.
And Craig, for the listeners, how big is this bed right here?
It's 16 feet.
16 feet.
And then we've got I think it's 3.5 foot ramp, and then we've got our fold down gates in the back too. And again, these trucks are designed for one person operation. So you're not going to kill yourself putting these ramps in. And then they just secure it. And there's a safety pin that goes in there.
Now, Greg, this is a great example of the open landscaper. Now, over here to our right, we have an enclosed landscaper, also on gas and PRHD. All right, 14.5 GVW. So you're looking at about 6,000 pounds of carrying capacity. But Craig, why would a landscaper want this thing instead of an open landscaper?
Yeah, this one's pretty special. I really want to talk about this truck because this is built by a company called Durmag. They're part of the Shift Group. I actually worked with their engineers about 10 years ago designing this body. There are other manufacturers out there that build them, but they don't build them like this. And I'm going to show you an example of why. Anthony, if you can come over here. Almost all these boxes now are sheet and post aluminum, which this is, but you're going to notice that the sides are bonded. There's no rivets in there. So when you want to go to put your graphics on, it's a much easier install, and it looks much cleaner.
Yeah, speaking of graphics, 24/7 billboard, Craig, we have a lot of customers doing the billboards. If you want super cool graphics, this, like you said, no rivets. It's fantastic for rapid truck.
Yeah, and the graphics company loves putting stuff on your box.
Absolutely.
Here's one of the most important things, Anthony. If you can come down here and go underneath. Yes, most of the body companies build sheet and post aluminum. Very few of them build bodies like this. If you look underneath, there's no steel under this truck. Everything under this truck structurally is aluminum. Does a couple of things. Number one, especially up here in the Northeast, you don't have the corrosion and the rust that you get with steel. Even more important than that is it lightens this body up by about 600 to 700 pounds versus a conventional. So if you look at some of the competition where it's all steel understructure, it's a heavier body. Making the chassis heavier gives you less carrying capacity. So the aluminum construction is super important. One other thing I want you to notice is if you look at some of the competitors, the way they build this, and this was something that I worked with Durmag on, and we learned this the hard way, by the way. Most of the body companies put that up in the top 2 corners, which is fine. That does help to ventilate inside the box, does let some of the heat out. The problem is they don't put the vents down low. Why is that a problem? Landscapers, you probably all know this. Gas fumes are heavier than oxygen and heavier than air. The gas fumes do not rise when you pull your mowers in. It falls. So this gives you some ventilation to get rid of some of those gas fumes. Don't ask me why I say we learned the hard way, but we had a customer learn the hard way. So
Let's take a look at the inside here. Hey, Craig, this ramp here, obviously you're putting mowers inside. The carrying capacity is about 2,000 pounds. It can be reinforced to 2,500 pounds, but very easy accessible for a crew.
And again, when I worked with Duramax, built this body, it took us some time to make sure we had not the correct hinges, but the right amount of hinges. We experimented with a couple of different styles. We ended up with this barrel style hinge here, which has held up really well. We've had no issues with it whatsoever.
And Craig, one other key point here, which I like for safety, feel this. Great grip for your crew getting up and down.
Yep.
This ramp, fantastic, right here. Also, you got scuff plates. Check this out. Comes with scuff plates. You got a couple rows of E-track. This is a 16-footer. And also, check this out. A lot of landscapers love to put pallets, all right? So this is a 48-inch opening right here. It can be made to 52-inch if you need it, but it's great for loading pallets, especially if you're a spray guy. Right?
Exactly. We've also got recessed D-rings in the floor. Again, landscape floor.
Yep.
And we've got, this was something we added to the build, is we've got a drop-down shelf here so that you can put your gas cans or water cans, whatever you have. When you're not using it, you pull the bolts out and it folds down flat up against the wall to give you more storage space. So that's pretty much it. We have a translucent roof in this to make it a little bit easier to see.
So to summarize for landscapers, whether it's an open landscape body or an enclosed landscaper body, Gabrielli has all your truck solutions for landscape.
We always have them in stock. We always have them coming in. If you prefer to go with diesel chassis, we can do that. We can build them up to 20 feet and go up to a 19.5 DBW on them. So a lot of flexibility. We can do them on regular cabs. We can do them on crew cabs, whatever the customer wants. We can build it to spec.
Awesome. So listen, if you have any questions about whether it's Gabrielli, landscape trucks, by the way, Gabrielli, we have 26 locations around the tri-state area. Check us out, gabriellitruck.com. Check out all our inventory. And if you have any other questions, you can either reach out to me or Craig. And that is your Truck Trends walk around on landscapers. Thank you so much, Craig.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good to see you.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you.